Okay, it's time for another story. This one's called Smell of Evil, and it's based on a real visit that I had to the house that is at the center of this story. So it's a dramatization of the actual events that happened. It goes like this. Visitors to Boise, Idaho sometimes venture west into the farmlands and wonder what just died. The so-called Treasure Valley is famous for potatoes, but it's the odor of rotting sugar beets that immediately curls the nose into a corkscrew. Amid the ungodly smell live some of the most churched people in America. Steeples of religious houses rise everywhere, competing to give residents in the little town of Nampa their spiritual one-way ticket to a land of fresh air and the hereafter. For some of those who inhaled their final cloud of noxious vapor here, the flight was canceled. On a shady corner near the Nazarene College sits an old two-story house where spirits of the dead are not welcome. Too bad they're still in the attic. In the waning hours of afternoon, a dim bulb illuminated a small room above the front door. An old lady died here. The electricity was shut off when her executors signed the listing. Real estate agent Jenny Kinder said, looking up at the light. I'll probably never sell this house. We parked along the street and walked across the front yard. Kinder spied the absence of the lockbox. I'm authorized to enter, so we'll get in somehow, she said. We walked around to the back, looking down at dirt-splattered daylight basement windows filled with cobwebs. The neighborhood is a mishmash of remodeling jobs that stare at each other from the alleyway that runs behind the houses, except this one. It's like the old lady really wanted to be withdrawn, Kinder said, pointing to high, scraggly bushes along the backyard perimeter. Crunching over twigs and fallen leaves, we made our way to the back side of the detached garage. Next to it is an old white shed with peeling paint. The door faced us. I don't want to know what's in there, she said. Opening the door revealed a muddy scrabble leading into a deep pit resembling a mine shaft. An acrid smell wafted up. We used to use shallow pit sheds to overwinter vegetables and squash, but I've never seen one like this. Besides, it smells like roadkill. There seemed to be a tunnel leading towards the house from the bottom, but her flashlight was too dim to make it out, and Kinder was unwilling to go down. She shut the door, and we continued past the ordinary-looking garage to the back door of the house. A chair propped under the handle on the door was holding it closed. Sliding a yardstick under the door pushed the legs out from under the chair, and it fell away. The door creaked open. As we walked in, we were met by a draft and drag lines from spiders. Yuck, Kinder said, wiping her face and batting the air. Must be a window open somewhere. Inside the rooms on the main floor were spacious, with tall, narrow windows. What light filtered through the sheets was absorbed by the dark paneling and carpet. A mattress in the living room with clothes on it revealed someone was living here. No one is renting this place, Kinder said. It must be a vagrant. Continuing into the kitchen, there was a jar of commodity peanut butter. Food bank, she said. They must have got the electricity turned on, too, but the wall switches didn't work. Busted bulbs, maybe. Going downstairs, we entered a bedroom. Absent-mindedly, she flipped the wall switch. It worked. Well, that's two things to tell the executor. Clothes, books, and personal effects were strewn about. These are leftovers from the old lady's estate, she said. Venturing on, we came to the unfinished basement section where the final beams of daylight shone through cobwebs in the windows. Kinder's eyes locked on something in the window. Garlic, she said. On each frame, someone had thumbtacked a string with a clove attached, letting it dangle in front of the center of each pane. On the sills, more cloves were pinned in place. Pretty weird, she said, trying to disguise her fear. Garlic is well known as a spiritual cure for haunting. We retraced our steps, pausing at the bedroom for a moment. Garlic hung in that window, too. Back on the main floor, she went to the other windows. All the small windows had individual clothes hanging by strings with small ones pinned to the sill. She pulled back the sheets on the large front room windows. Entire bulbs were nailed into the sills. Sweat broke out on Kinder's brow. The implications were disturbing. "I suppose you still want to go upstairs?" she asked. Rhetorical question. We headed for the staircase. A little picture window next to the front door had been covered with paneling, except where someone had hammered out a fist-sized hole. Looking through, a whole bulb was resting on the sill, invisible from the outside due to filth accumulation on the inside of the pane. Behind us and offset to the right, the staircase led up into the gloom. "Guests first," she said. Upstairs are 2 rooms, down opposite ends of a hall. The T's at the stairwell. Both have slanted ceilings from the A-framed roof above. Out the windows are views of the side street and neighbor's house, but not the car out front. Kinder looked at all the sills. Garlic everywhere. "There's no access to the front gable room," Kinder said. "And there are no lights up here." Kinder became visibly nervous. "I think we should go." We headed back down the staircase. She stopped halfway. "Wait, I hear something." Then she said a little prayer. "Dear Lord, please don't let us get killed in here." The muffled voices and tapping became louder, and it was clearly emanating from the wall to our left and then above our heads. The gable room! We hurried down the stairs and tried the front door. "It's stuck. The vagrants must enter through a window. We'll have to go out the back," she said. Her dim flashlight gave out, and we were in darkness. "Take my hand," she said. We slowly worked our way from room to room. As we made it to the back door, we could hear mumbling and the sound of steady footfalls coming our way. "Good Lord, someone's in here," she whispered. As we rushed out, her coat caught on the inside door handle, dragging it shut with her pocket. The door squawked like a demented parrot as she fumbled with it. Finally, the garment was free, and we ran to the side street, then to the car. No one followed. "They were probably as scared as we were," she said. Looking up at the gable, she thought she saw a figure at the window, silhouetted in the dim light. "You didn't see that, and neither did I," she said as we sped away. "Consider this listing canceled." The end. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks.